Hello and welcome to NTA Nationwide. I am Ifoma Ojintan. Remember, you can follow this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, and other social media handles displayed on the screen. Now, 2023 looks promising for the power sector, with more than 250 billion naira expected to be expended on critical projects that will improve generation, transmission and distribution of electricity nationwide. Joshua Ojito reports.
Power supply, critical to the growth of Nigeria's economy, yet consumers groan over poor supply.
Out of 24 hours a day, we only have electricity supply for 45 minutes till the following day. And they have been collecting money constantly.
Any area that there is light, there is life.
But the 2023 budget for the power sector raises hope of improved electricity supply, with 258 billion naira allocated to the sector.
Budget is a yearly ritual, and no government in the past have demonstrated the heights of commitment, sincerity of purpose, and good, genuine desire to bring about a change that Mr. President has demonstrated.
While the construction and upgrade of transmission lines and substations in parts of the country are to be sustained, new projects are coming on stream. Development of Onitsha and Katsina Allah hydropower plants, development of nuclear and atomic power generation, as well as integrated planning for deployment of fast power plants in Edo State are among major projects to take off this year. Also, there are plans to build gas power plants along the Ajakuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline, and the implementation begins this year.
The government of President Muhammadu Buhari, in its quest to raise the operational capacity of the NESI, the Nigerian electricity supply industry, this is one of the projects that is being done.
With more solar-powered projects to be executed, the 2023 budget for the power sector is also expected to coordinate and assess power generation plants nationwide to ensure power generated is evacuated and distributed to end users. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Ensuring quality education at basic education level, especially provision of conducive learning and teaching environments, as well as reducing the number of out-of-school children, again, were the focus of the subsector in 2022. Let's bring in Abdul Malik Hassan for more on this and insights into its 2023 budget allocation.
The federal government has invested heavily in the construction, renovation and rehabilitation of classrooms, hostels, laboratories, security and other infrastructural facilities at the basic and secondary levels. In the last 7 years, a little above 553 billion naira has gone into infrastructural development at the basic and secondary levels. This is not to say the subsector has not had its shares of emerging challenges. Majorly funding, which for most countries is a top priority. The untold stories, developing hypotheses and conducting research, blurring the figure of out-of-school children, a key mandate. 2019 till date was with challenges, especially the COVID-19 era, but UBEC was able to disburse about 117 billion naira from 2019 to 2021 as matching grant intervention to state governments.
But not only that, understand also that 14% or 15% of the funds also go for instructional materials. And we have been able, over this period of time, to be able to provide this based on the little resources available to support the provision of instructional materials in the state, to be able also to support teacher professional development.
2022 began with national personnel audit, a census to acquire private and public basic schools data across the 36 states of the Federation, as well the National Assessment of Learning Achievement in Basic Education. This assessment saw about 12% increase in number of schools and enrollment from that of 2018.
We have finished both. We have finished Nalabe and we are in the process of analyzing in terms of looking at preliminary figures, a lot of things, understanding areas where we have to now still, isn't it, do some validation.
Then the return of history teaching to schools at the basic education level. In 2017, the idea of smart schools was conceived for the 36 states of the Federation. It remained a prospect not until its future began to shine bright in 2022.
Over 90% have been completed and are ready to be deployed. Come the following academic session. We have the e-learning program within the public school sector. So far, we have selected 3, one from each senatorial district. We have 109. We have deployed the tablets required. We have deployed the teaching learning materials that are required. We are now augmenting it along even with visa connections that we hope will begin to expand the system.
Despite this success story, the sector saw its budget in 2022 slashed from 102 billion naira to about 89 billion naira following a budget review. This, the Executive Secretary of UBEC, Dr. Hamid Boboy, says makes the year a more challenging one. Now, 103.29 billion naira was apportioned to the basic education subsector under the 2023 budget.
Still, despite all those efforts, we still need more money. The sector needs more money. It's not UBEC that needs money. The spending has to be stepped up, not only at the federal level, but also at the state level. State governments must come to the rescue to ensure that they can pump in money. There are a lot of states, and unfortunately, the majority do not spend as an additional kobo besides the counterpart funding that they are paying.
UBEC sees this as an incline since COVID-19 era, but expresses worry of not having a recurrence of cutting down its budget. Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
The process of justice dispensation is believed to be in the process of receiving better attention in 2023, courtesy of the improved budgetary allocation to the sector by the federal government. Olabode Arewa, who monitored the 2023 appropriation for the justice sector, reports.
On January 3, 2023, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the 2023 Appropriation Act, thereby sustaining the January to December budget cycle. The National Assembly had also passed the 2023 budget into law on Wednesday, 28 December 2022, just under 3 months after it was laid before a joint session of the National Assembly. The 2023 Appropriation Act, christened Budget of Fiscal Consolidation and Transition, is to maintain fiscal viability and ensure the smooth transition to the incoming administration. For the judiciary, which is the third arm of government, the National Judicial Council proposed the budget of 338 billion naira for the various court divisions under it for the 2023 fiscal year, but 165 billion naira was allotted for the year. The National Judicial Council is the body responsible for the appointment, promotion, and discipline of judicial officers. Their budget for 2023 is about 45 billion naira higher than the 120 billion naira that the NJC received as its 2022 budget sum.
I must say that since President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, we have seen increase. We now see a situation where judiciary is getting 165 billion naira. And that is kudos. But if you also look critically, you see that that is far cry, below the expectation. It is not, what we can say is satisfactory, to project the judiciary, take the judiciary to where it ought to be. If you look critically, you see that judiciary is the last hope of the common man.
In 2022, the Federal Ministry of Justice received 17 billion 61 million 387,000 naira as its appropriation. In 2023, however, the Federal Ministry of Justice received 72 billion 479 million 567,000 as its budget sum.
Our case is not necessarily for review of salaries and conditions of service, is to give attention to judiciary, because it's the only arm of government that is sustaining Nigeria today. And so every one of us, the press, the executive, the legislature, must all give attention to judiciary as an arm of government. From 1999 till date, if not for judiciary, there will be no democracy.
I would want to see the money expended, especially on the judges. Judges' welfare, judges' remuneration need to be increased.
With the needs and responsibilities of the judicial arm of government increasing by the day due to the demands of the times, legal practitioners have canvassed more openness in the financial expenditure of the sector. Olabode, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, on his 64th birthday, January 12, 2023, sharing the joyous occasion with the National Assembly. In a statement, President Buhari joins family members, friends and political associates in celebrating the Senate President, who has a profile of being one of the most experienced legislators in the country, having served 8 years in the House of Representatives, 1999 to 2007, and almost 12 years in the Senate. The President notes the historic interventions of the Senate President, particularly providing a peaceful and harmonious leadership for the 9th National Assembly that has translated into many gains for the country on legislation and passing of bills into law. President Buhari prays for the well-being of Senator Lawal and his family. It's now time to join Adiola in Lagos for trending stories from that zone. Hello, Adiola.
Hello, Ifoma. The appreciable decline in the number of new cases of coronavirus and deaths in Nigeria does not call for relaxation. In fact, medical experts still advocate preventive as well as safety measures and vaccination, which is one of such. In this report, Hingino John Adams tells us about a health worker who allegedly sold test results and vaccination cards at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH.
This is one of the centers for COVID-19 vaccination and tests located at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH. Those who walk in here to be tested or vaccinated are expected to come out with their results or vaccination cards only if they receive any of the services. Unknown to many, money has been exchanging hands in which not all those who came out with either a result or vaccination card went through the process. One Solomon Oriere is the alleged culprit doing the bidding of whoever wishes but at the right price. 99 days for the thief and a day for the owner was exactly what happened last week when the suspect was caught in the act. The chief medical director of the hospital, who declined to comment on camera, said the suspect is not a staff of the hospital. The Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyi confirmed the arrest of the suspect.
The investigation has commenced, and depending on the outcome of the investigation, the appropriate action will be taken. If need be, could be prosecuted, and the necessary medical bodies would also be carried along and informed.
The Lagos State Police Command spokesperson also said anyone caught in such illegal business will face the wrath of the law to deter others from engaging in similar acts. What the suspect's action implies is that some COVID-19 test results and vaccination cards are in the wrong hands, and this is a threat to the fight against the pandemic. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
2022 will go down in the history of Lagos State as 1 year that its road net worth experienced more than a marginal increase. The commitment of federal government to national road infrastructural development contributed greatly to this. In this report, Adeniyi Taiwo takes a look at the changing road landscape in the state and how it will impact transportation in year 2023.
Like a moth to the fire, many are daily thronging Lagos. Despite its fast-growing population, this surge is cementing its niche as the commercial nerve center of Nigeria, while equally increasing demand for more infrastructure, particularly good roads. At the center of it all is this 126-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. For it to continually funnel visitors to Lagos State for business, the race to expand it to a 6-lane dual carriageway took a definite curve in 2022, with about 85% job done.
At the end of December 2022, what we have left is just basically about 5 kilometers.
That in itself is impacting on the economy. The people that are working, they're getting employed. The people that are supplying, they are making money.
Agbara-Badagry Expressway is an international corridor linking about 4 countries. The 46.1-kilometer highway is one of the 2 beneficiaries of the tax credit policy of the federal government.
In the year 2022, the NNPC intervened and gave us some money. So we have used that to increase the tempo of work on this road.
The project, at 33%, is already changing the landscape and giving joy to road users.
Anybody will put motor for this road before. If you buy motor today, never 3 months, you go park up for house.
This particular lane now that they have done, since they did it, we've been enjoying it.
A drive around Outer Marina Lagos, an intracity project funded through Sukuk, is similar to what now obtains along Apapa-Oshodi or Oroshoki Expressway. With a chunk of 2023 budget captured for road infrastructure, it is expected that the new year will also witness fresh road development projects, especially along the Lagos-Abeokuta axis.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Larry standing by in Ibadan with more reports. Don't forget you can still follow this broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live. We'll be right back.
People of Nigeria don't talk them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria. Our country people get many reasons we make them all agree say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them choose for this president election. Yes, so Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi anything wey him put in hand, he dey work wella. He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people see they enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, e good to make we vote for who sabi. As it can't be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with the broom.
Who be the president? We go vote.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Bet sponsors coverage of the Italian Serie A.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. About 1,02,540 permanent voter cards are yet to be collected in Oyo State. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Oyo State, therefore advised Nigerians to collect their permanent voter cards, the only path to exercise their rights to vote for credible leaders in the forthcoming general elections. Charity Agu reports.
Movement across Ibadan metropolis indicates that collection process of PVCs ahead of the 2023 general elections is smooth and hitch-free.
I came here 20 minutes ago and I've collected mine.
Noticed that everybody was trying to just struggle to get their PVC, not because they wanted to use it for another means, but because they wanted to vote.
However, data obtained from the State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, indicates that 1,02,540 PVCs are yet to be collected.
We want more people to come out en masse, just like they did when they were coming out for the registration. It's also pertinent to note that the collection is even on Saturday and Sundays.
Given the importance of the election in strengthening the nation's democracy, the people were urged to get their PVC in good time.
Only advise them that they should not miss this opportunity. Once you miss it, you don't collect now, then forget it. Forget it. Then we are in for another 4 years. God forbid bad thing.
If they don't collect their PVC, they won't be able to vote. There are times they will be denying some benefits.
The period allotted for the collection of the PVCs at the wards and registration areas is between 6th and 15th January, while the 22nd of January is the deadline for distribution and collection nationwide. Charity Agu, NTA News.
Officers in the courts of justice have been charged to be proactive and diligent in their course of judicial engagements. Chief Judge of Oyo State, Justice Muntar Abimbola, said this when he released inmates at Agodi Custodial Center. Kayode Oladoshu reports that the two-day exercise was carried out by the Monitoring Committee of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law in Oyo State.
Agodi Custodial Center has the capacity to accommodate only 339 inmates, but the facility housed over 1,000. It is on this premise that the Monitoring Committee of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law in Oyo State, led by the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Muntar Abimbola, deemed fit to examine cases of inmates who deserve freedom. Inmates considered for release were those that are on prolonged detention, the aged, juvenile, and those that have health challenges. Justice Abimbola used the avenue to address officers in the administration of justice.
Scenario that presented itself here caused a lot of concern, and I'm even appalled about the number of awaiting trials that have been in detention here for quite a long time. So that's why I called on lawyers that they should live up to their responsibility.
So it's a right step in the right direction.
99 inmates were released in the 2-day exercise in Ibadan. Kaido Ladoshu, NTA News.
Those are the trending reports from Ibadan at this hour. Let's now rejoin Ifoma in our Abuja studios for continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Larry. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is calling for more investments in technology to change and improve business model as more Nigerians in diaspora continue to invest significantly into the nation's economy. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Attesting to this investment into the Nigerian economy by Nigerians in the diaspora are board members of the Abuja Investment Company led by Bimbo Ashiru, while on a courtesy visit to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to express gratitude to the federal government for instilling confidence in investors within and outside the country. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, while acknowledging efforts of the board and management of the Oodua Group, also stresses the need for more investment in technology to change and improve business model. And as he puts it, technology is the way of the future. He said there is the need to push the model of using smart and tested people from the private sector to manage enterprises and businesses that government has an interest in.
Not a regional thing, it's a national thing. And don't forget that Southwest is the fourth economy in Africa. As it seems, the group of Southwest. So the point is that we are now running as an international entity.
Leader of the delegation, Bimbo Ashiru, told the Vice President that the vision of the board is to make Oodua Investment Company a world-class conglomerate with passion for business in agriculture, industrialization, and ICT. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Members of the oil and gas host communities in 6 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State affected by the 2022 flood are smiling again following the distribution of relief materials to them by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Clement Barikuyi has details.
In 2022, many Nigerians lost their homes, valuables and sources of livelihood to flood that ravaged communities in states of the Federation. Indigent members of oil and gas host communities in Eket, Eastern Obolo, Mbo, Ibono, Ikorobasi and Nsiribom local government areas whose hope were once lost due to the devastating impact of the 2022 flood will have causes to smile again with this distribution of relief materials to them.
We appreciate it in good terms.
For the past, we didn't experience a thing of this type.
This relief material will be equitably distributed.
The gesture, according to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, is a corporate social responsibility aimed at making life worth living for the people again.
You know, when you have love for your fellow citizens, when they are in pain, you are in pain. So when these people were in pain, he was also in pain.
The donors are optimistic that with this gesture and more to come, their host communities will remain resolute in giving them seamless and unhindered atmosphere to continue their operations. Inoyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Governor Nyesom Wike says his accomplishments as Rivers State Governor, particularly in the area of infrastructural development, is in line with his promise to leave the state better than he met it. Ogedi Nyekwe reports that the governor said this while briefing journalists shortly after inspecting some ongoing projects in the states.
He says the infrastructural transformation of the past 7 years is part of the commitment of the PDP to the general well-being of the people of Rivers State. The governor says the number of people who thronged the streets to cheer him at the various project sites is indicative that the people are happy that he has not disappointed them but delivered on his mandate.
We can say with all good authority, we're happy and we can go home satisfied that we have not disappointed our people.
Governor Wike further says He is confident that his administration will finish strong, maintaining that voting for the PDP governorship and legislative candidates will guarantee the consolidation and sustainability of the infrastructural transformation recorded in the last 7 years by his administration.
My motivation, look, is an opportunity to serve people, serve the state, and then contribute our own quota in the development of our state. That is all. If you have that at the back of your mind, there's nothing you cannot do for your people.
He knows that the contractor handling the Ilabuchi-Azikiwe roads, the Rumola-Rumokuta and Ngwoba NTA roads, flyover bridges, has promised delivery of the projects for inauguration before the end of his tenure. In Port Harcourt, Oge Dinyekwere, NTA News.
Security operatives on the trail of victims of the Igweben train station abduction have secured the release of a female passenger believed to be among the victims. This disclosure was made by the spokesperson for the Edo State Police Command, Chidi Nguzo, while briefing journalists in Benin City. Goodluck Enaini has details and other crime-related reports from the command.
Since the incident occurred on Saturday, security operatives have been in the trail of the abductors in a bid to secure the release of the abductees. On Monday, the 9th of January, 6 of the victims were released, while another, a female, is said to have regained her freedom this Tuesday and reunited with her family members in Warri, Delta State.
The officers and men of Edo State Police Command, other sister security agencies are combing the bush to ensure the release of these victims unhurt.
Meanwhile, the command has paraded some criminal suspects alleged to be involved in court-related crimes. The suspects were arrested at various areas in the metropolis while carrying out their nefarious activities and were found with different items.
The police operatives stormed the scene, arrested 4 suspects, recovered NBM construction, aka that is also known as black ass confraternity, from them, while others escaped from the scene.
The suspects claimed ignorance.
A police came and started shooting guns everywhere. They say it's a cultist party. On Sunday, they released those girls on bail, and we are still here.
Please. 5 minutes into sitting down with him, where he was playing Ludo game with his friends at Ekema Road by a bar, were swooped upon by police.
They are to appear in court when investigations are concluded. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State Police Command has busted a 4-man child trafficking syndicate in Rivers State that specializes in buying newborn babies from young women they lure into pregnancy. Robinson Deratide has details.
A major breakthrough for the Rivers State Police Command as 10 young ladies between the ages of 17 to 27 were rescued from child traffickers. Through intelligence report, the C4I unit of the police raided 2 houses at Omagwa and Iguita communities under Emoa and Ikwere Council areas, resulting in the rescue of the victims, most of whom are pregnant, having been promised to be paid 500,000 naira after delivery. According to the police, the victims agreed to the terms of transaction to enable them meet their financial needs.
The Rivers State Police Command is committed to dealing with crime and criminality under any form whatsoever. So anybody who have any useful information should report to the nearest police station.
4 suspects were apprehended by the police.
They just came, they are pregnant, but nobody is taking care of them. So they will beg me, tell me that instead of them to die, let them just see a way to make sure they deliver the child. She asked me that, Febo, how much they used to do it. I said, I don't know what is in your home, whether it's a baby boy or a baby girl, but this is a baby boy, they will give you like 800,000.
The case has been transferred to the Criminal Investigation Unit for further investigation and prosecution. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Daratede, NTA News.
Let's now join Obey in our Benin Network Center for more stories on Nationwide. Hello, Obey.
Hello, Ifoma. Many thanks for joining us here in Benin. And in Asaba, the Delta State capital, and Benin City, Edo State capital, residents are trooping in numbers to various wards across the metropolis to get their permanent voter cards. Good Luck Inaini brings us a compilation of the situation in both cities.
In Benin, the wards visited recorded an orderly process as prospective voters were calm. The turnout, residents say, is an indication of the people's readiness to exercise their franchise.
It's going on smoothly, and I will applaud the INEC for that.
I'm now entitled to cast my vote for the candidate of my own choice.
Calvin Ugweche monitored the situation in Asaba. He reports that the few INEC staff on ground were having a field day identifying cards.
From what I'm seeing now, a lot of sensitization have been done by INEC, and a lot of people are collecting now.
Luckily for me, I've been able to get mine. I'm so happy. But unfortunately, there was an error in the gender area. Rather than putting female, I have a male there.
It's a machine printing. You could make a mistake while printing and some are skipped. So what we are supposed to do is give them a form for them to make a request and a on-time registrants.
In both cities, this issue of inadequate personnel to distribute the cards to Nigerians is still reoccurring days after the distribution began.
So what we need here is more staff, so that it can be more faster.
It takes them a whole lot of time to sort it, and this is the 5th time I'm actually coming for my PVC. Yeah, it's not collected.
I came on time today. This is after 3 I have not collected.
The collection of PVC is ongoing across all wards and will end on the 15th of January before the distribution begins in INEC centers across the country. In Benin, Good Luck Inaini, NTA News.
Traders and residents lament as prices of goods and services continue to soar in Benin after the Christmas and New Year celebrations. Jude Abugu, who went round the town, reports that the instability in supply and prices of petroleum products is largely blamed for the high cost of transportation and commodities in the metropolis.
The tail end of 2022 witnessed a steady increase in prices of goods and services. This persisted during Christmas and New Year celebrations as residents grappled with cost of food items and other commodities during Christmas shopping. With the festivities now over, one expects a downward trend in prices of food items